Here we are together again on the radio. And I am on the radio for a variety of reasons, but not the least of which is the fact that I, over the years, never allowed any bitch to harass, cajole, or nag me into having kids. Never. Oh, they tried. My first marriage broke up because I married somebody who didn't want to have kids when she married me, and then 2 years in, she's like, I changed my mind. I changed my mind. Now I have to do this. And told me she was going to stop using the pill. That marriage lasted another 6 weeks, and I was out. That's it. Oh, yes, I've been cajoled, harangued, harassed. I've been asked if I would do this. When I have talked to women I was dating about whether they wanted to have kids over the years, it would always be like, no, I haven't decided yet. And more than one woman I dated in the past that I've run into or spoken to over the years who said they didn't think they wanted kids or they didn't foresee having kids, they have kids now. Oh, yeah. I have an ex-wife. One ex-wife who has a kid. She has one now. She was with me. She didn't have kids. Now she has one. And it's more than one. You know. I, over the years, just like you were trying to step around landmines, I kept stepping away from people who wanted me to have kids. If I didn't do that over the years, I would never have made it in my career. I would never have gotten to where I am today. Never. No way, no how. You can say that it would be possible. And as I've always said, it might be possible to jump off a 10-story building and land on the ground and survive. That might be possible. But it's highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. I didn't want to take that chance. Don't get me wrong, I love kids. I really do like kids a lot. And I care what happens to them. A lot. And I enjoy spending time with kids. A lot. I'm not one of these people who hates children. I'm not. I like children. I just didn't want to have my own because I wanted a career. I wanted to get somewhere in life. And the people I knew who had kids ended up working at the gas station or working as mechanics, or they ended up, doing something else. They did not end up living their dreams. And living my dream was a very important part of my life. There's an article about me in the newspaper today here in Los Angeles with a big, fat picture. And it also reminded me of this because it has me sitting in front of my children. All my children in the background. Anyone who knows me has seen me cradle one of them in my arms. They are beautiful and in many cases rare bottles of wine. Now, I have a career I love, a life I enjoy, friends to share that wine with. I travel a lot. Many things in life that I get to do today because I didn't bog myself down with having children. I've spent time with other people's children. Recently, I met my 4-year-old nephew. I did not know I had a nephew because my brother and I were not in touch. And we hadn't called each other in a while. My brother and I recently reestablished contact, and I have a 4-year-old nephew. And he's really cool, and I love talking to him on the phone, and I love sending him gifts, and I love spending time with him. I love it. Love it. But had I had a 4-year-old when I was my brother's age, I wouldn't be sitting here today. I wouldn't be doing 2 different radio shows and a TV show. I wouldn't be enjoying all these things. I wouldn't be shopping for a Mercedes and just having fun with my life. I wouldn't be. Now, granted, there are benefits to having children that I don't get. I understand that. Everything in life is a trade-off. Unfortunately, I meet many people who get angry at me because of the things I have, many of which I would not have had I done what they did and had kids. I would not have achieved what I have achieved. I would not have amassed the personal fortune I've amassed. You would not see a picture of me in my wine cellar in the newspaper. You would not see that had I had children. And the traveling and the career aspirations I had. You see, when I talk to you about never letting a woman kill your dreams, boys, this is what I'm talking about. And I might add, by the way, it's no secret. My age is no secret. It's in the story. I'm 48 years old. You know what? If I chose to have children today, I could still do it. That's the beauty of being a guy. You know, chicks, they dry up and the eggs go away and that's it. They have like a window of opportunity and that's why they've got a biological time clock. But guess what? Guys don't. We don't. There is no rush to get married or have babies, boys. No rush at all. Imagine had you spent your life working, studying, traveling, saving, investing, buying land or buying houses, preparing a little fortune for yourself. If you were me and you were 48 years old and you'd done that your whole life, you could now find the woman of your dreams. You could find a breeder in her 20s who would just love to share your life with you. You could be very, very happy. What I'm saying to you is you don't have to have kids at 21 or 19 or 23. I don't understand why guys do this. Why? Had you spent the time saying no, had you worked and put money away and saved and built up your career and gotten all the degrees you were planning on getting, had you made yourself something, you could then be 38, 39, 42, whatever. 48. And if you chose to start having kids then, you could still do it. You could still do it. So I looked at this photograph of myself in the newspaper today, and I said to myself, you know what? I'm proud of that picture. I'm proud of what it says in that story in the LA Times. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of all of it. And I would never have accomplished it had I listened to the ranting and raving of women that I was merely physically attracted to. But honestly, what they wanted to do was not in my best interest, because I was born to do this. And if I had given in at 21 or 29 or 35, if I had given in, I wouldn't be sitting here today. You would not see a picture of me in my wine cellar. You would not hear me on the radio today. Do you know how many people I've known? Let me take the business I know, the radio business, for example. I'm not going to name this person because I respect him professionally, and I caught him at a vulnerable moment, and he made a comment to me, and it stuck with me forever. I was in Albany, New York, working at a radio station. And at the time, I was the youngest guy at the radio station. I was 26 years old, and the men on the station were late 50s, maybe 60. I was the young guy, and the other guys had been in the business for 30 years. And this one guy, who was good at what he did, who I respected an awful lot, it sounded like Marlon Brando on the waterfront. I could have been a contender. This guy said to me, here he was working for maybe $35,000 a year in Albany in the radio business. He says, one day the manager of a station in San Francisco came through town, and he heard me on the radio, and he called me up at the station. He said, you know what? You'd sound great on our station. And I told him, hey, thank you very much, but I've got family here. I got my son going to school here. I can't move to San Francisco. I'm staying here. But I just want you to know, Sonny, I could have been working in San Francisco. I could have been there. He told me I sounded good enough to be on their station. That's what he told me. But you know what? He never got to find out how he would have sounded. Never. And he had to look me in the eye to save face. He clearly felt threatened by the fact that I was passing through Albany, New York. I was going to do 2 or 3 years there and then move on to my next gig. That was the plan. And he couldn't stand it. He had a wife. He had kids. He had a house with a mortgage. He had obligations. He settled. Now, by the way, this man's now a grandfather. He's got a wonderful family. And he's, one of those well-known people in that town. And has been for decades. And there's something to be said for that. But that wasn't what I wanted. I did not want to meet the love of my life in some small town and just live there. I didn't. I aspired to do more. I aspired to find out what I could be if I were willing to take all the chances. Take all the risks. Keep moving. Keep reinventing myself. I did it. I don't regret a minute of it. Oh, am I divorced 4 times? Yes, I am. Do I regret what I've done? Do I regret not having kids? Do I regret not being able to make a relationship work? No, I don't. Because I love what I have. Love it. And you want to know something? Right now, if I chose to, I could start over today. I could still do the things I didn't do in the past. I could still, if I wanted to, have kids. I could still just settle down, relax, not work so much, not work so hard. Stop working on figuring out what the next level is or the next twist is going to be. I could just stop. I could retire on what I have. I could do it. The fact is, I gave myself choices. And the women I dated over the years tried to take those choices away from me. Women are innately afraid that if we're in a relationship with them, once we achieve something, once we make more money, once we get a better job, once we get a promotion, whatever it is, that we will trade up to the trophy wife. Because many of us do. So they'd never admit it if you confronted them. But think of all the ways the woman you are with chips away at your self-confidence, chips away at your opportunities, tells you she doesn't want you staying out late, doesn't want you going to lunch or dinner with clients or potential clients or people you might do business with. Think of all the ways she wants you to have a baby now, no matter what, now. Think about it. Is that in your best interest? Does she care about your best interest? No. I'm here because I mastered the following 1-syllable word. No. Do you appear to be an a-hole when you say the word no? You bet you do. I am an a-hole. But I said no. And boys, that's a word you're all going to have to master. No. Does any of this ring true?
1-800-5800-TOM.
Hey, I just wanted to know where I need to send a check.
For what?
For the service that you're giving out.
It's free to the public. I'm the Mother Teresa of broadcasting, as you know. The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. Thank you for tuning in. It's Russell on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Tom, what's going on?
Not much, Russell.
Hey, dude, I've been with my chick for about 7 years, okay? I have a kid with her. That's the only reason why I've been with her for 7 years.
So you knocked her up when you were 15?
No, I'm not 15.
Oh, you said you've been with her for 7 years, and that's why you've been with her for 7 years.
Yes.
How old is the kid?
The kid is 5.
All right, so you would have been with her for 2 years, but then you knocked her up, so you stayed.
Yeah, I was a kid. You know, I was 16 years old, and, you know, made a mistake. Well, the problem is, the deal was I'd put her through medical school, okay?
You would put her through medical school.
Before I could
So
start...
first, she made you become a parent against your will.
Yeah.
And then you rewarded her by paying for her medical school.
Yes.
Okay?
The deal was I put her through medical school before I can start my own business. Well, about 6 months ago, she drops out of medical school, quits going to school. And then I tell her, you know what? You're going to have to do most of the supporting now, you know? I can't do it no more. I want to start my own business, you know? I want to get my life together. And she laughed at me. Because I want to start my own business. So what should I do?
Well, you know, you've screwed yourself here.
Yeah.
I mean, why did you let her get pregnant in the first place? I know you screwed up, but I mean, there was no condom involved, right?
No condom.
So you kind of screwed yourself here.
Yes, sir.
And then offering to put her through medical school.
Yes.
Why?
Well, the reason why is because I want to start my own business.
But you realize if you never knocked her up, you'd be 22 and starting your own business, and you would not need mommy's permission.
Yeah.
You realize that?
Yeah, I was young, I'm stupid, and, you know, I screwed up.
Right, okay. So now the deal is, look, if you're not with her, all you have to do is pay her child support.
So that's my best route, huh?
Are you married?
Negative. Almost screwed up a year ago and did it, but
don't do that, because if you get married, you have to pay vagina money and child support.
That's why I backed out.
How long have you been living with her?
I've been living with her for 3 years.
3 years, all right. There's still time to get out. I mean, the fact is, you're supporting your child anyway. If you get out, all you have to do is pay child support. No vagina money. And then you can start your own business and do whatever you like. You don't need mommy's permission.
That's all I needed to know.
You know, so pay your child support, be a good dad, get out.
All right, thanks, dude.
All right, Russell, thank you. I love to help these guys out. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. It's Tyler on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Rerun, let me tell you why you're so bitter. I've never heard anybody use the word I more than you.
Oh, wow.
Life is not full of materialistic items. And by the way,
speak for yourself there.
You can have children and have a life, by the way, Rerun.
Well, but guess what? The life will not be as good as my life, pal.
What do you have that most men in America that are in a happy marriage with a family do not have?
I can go wherever I want, whenever I want, anywhere in the world, anytime I like.
I just got back from Hawaii watching the Pro Bowl with my buddies, and I have kids at home with a great wife.
Wonderful. Yeah, try going to Australia in the spring, and then try going to Japan in the summer, and then try going to South America in the fall. Go ahead.
Hey, Rerun.
Good luck, pal.
You do your traveling by yourself. You know what's going to end up happening to you? You're going to end up dying a very lonely old man.
Oh, yeah, I'm so lonely. Oh,
you're going to sit.
I'm suffering. I had a Thanksgiving dinner for 17 people this year because I'm so lonely. Nobody wants to spend time with me.
Hey, you know what?
I'm so alone. Yeah, and by the way, your jealousy is just pouring out of every pore in your body right now.
Why would I be jealous?
Why are you so angry, you moron?
Because you throw comments towards the general public, making them...
You're angry because what I said about what I've achieved makes you feel inferior.
I'd like to know your cool little wine cellar. Seriously.
Take a look at the paper, page 3 of the calendar section in the L.A. Times today. Go ahead, take a look.
I could care less.
Take a look at it there, pal. Read it and weep.
Because you're in the paper?
No, look at my wine cellar. Take a look. My wine bar. Take a look.
Everybody that's listening to the show, are we all so insignificant?
Well, clearly, you continue to listen.
I just got off a plane. I was cruising through.
Well, how would you know I'm a rerun or think I'm a rerun if you've never heard me before? Because you listen all the time, you idiot.
What?
And it's obvious. And listen how angry you are.
You know what?
And it's clear you are angry. I got under your skin. Something I said really touched a nerve in you.
It's your job. This is what you get paid for, to get under people's skin, and you do a hell of a job.
Well, thank you.
You do a good job. I'm just defending the general population with families that you live in your little wine cellar by yourself.
I'm not recommending my life for everybody. If you're happy eating dinner at Chuck E. Cheese and, being awakened at 6:30 in the morning, hallelujah. Live it up, pal.
Are you looking to compare paychecks, my friend?
I'm not looking to compare anything, pal.
All right,
I'd be willing to bet, though, that my paycheck exceeds yours.
You know what? I'd be willing to bet, too. And by the way, I have a great family with great kids. I live in an awesome house.
Good for you.
Beautiful cars. But you know what? I trade in all of those materialistic items to be surrounded by my family.
Good for you.
Okay.
And again, I'm not criticizing that. Everybody makes choices in life.
Right.
Everybody. And by the way, I took pains to say that.
Right. But you know what?
You know what? If that's what makes you happy, if that's what floats your boat, wonderful. But I think for most people, they get married too young, they have children too young, they give up on their dream too young. And they're not making the money that you say you're making.
I will agree.
They end up working at Walmart, and they marry the cashier in aisle 9, and that's it.
I will agree with you that having children at 16 to 25 is a mistake.
And that's a lot of who I'm talking to here.
All right.
And people getting married before 25, it's insane. People shouldn't get married until they've achieved their dreams. And then share those dreams with somebody if you like.
All right, then you and I are on the same page then. I did not understand where you were coming from.
Of course that's what I'm saying.
If you're telling the general population to stick away from
I am not telling people to live in my wine cellar by themselves. I'm telling people first achieve your dreams. Do not let some 21-year-old hussy tell you it's time to have children before you graduated college or succeeded at your career or your chosen profession. Yeah, first achieve your dream. Then share it with friends and family.
A lot of people in America dream of having a family.
Many do, but guess what? If you're going to have a family, you owe it to them to be able to not only feed them and clothe them and house them, but to educate them. And many people never think that far in advance. How many people in this country have kids and they can't afford health insurance for them? It's stupid.
All right, I agree with you.
It folds like a house of cards.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
All the things that you tell guys to do, he has done to me.
And he's probably a lot happier now.
Without me?
Yeah.
See, why would you say something like that?
The Tom Leykis Show.
It's Nick on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom, how you doing?
I'm okay, Nick.
That's good. And I know you're doing good because you're doing what you love and you have a good job, right?
I do.
I know. And it's funny because how women can give up whatever they want, like career women can give up whatever they want, don't want to have kids, and go after their career. But if men want to do it, they're like scumbag, you know?
Well, I know. I mean, I've told the story on the air before, and since you're in Buffalo, you probably never heard it, so I'll just tell the very short version of it. I lived with a woman at one time who, met me when I was working on a radio show, and the radio show ended when I split with my partner. And so I went from working on the radio show to working at Citibank. And after I started working at Citibank, one day, she, while I was at work, she threw all my stuff out into the lobby of the apartment building where we were living and changed the locks.
Wow, nice.
Then called me and told me that I better come get my stuff before it gets stolen. And when I got there, she said through the peephole in the door, she said to me, "Come back when you get a real job."
Wow.
That's what she said.
You know, if you would have done that to a woman, man, you'd be a woman hater forever, wouldn't you?
Well, that's what they would say.
Yeah.
By the way, this woman, 8 years later, saw me on 2020 when I was working at my first big gig in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
She called me from Manhattan, and she asked me, "Do you ever get to New York? Do you ever get to New York?" Yes, I do, and I'm not going to be visiting you. Now that I got a good job.
Yep.
And I have not seen her since.
Good. It's just funny how, if a guy wants to go after what he wants to do, he has to stop to have kids or do this or get married right away. But he wants to do something, then he has to put it all on
Because
hold.
women don't want you becoming more successful because they fear that you will trade up to a hotter, younger model. And you know what? Most of us do.
Yeah, because they're very competitive.
So you have to remember, just like I don't know if you've ever been on a diet. Ever been on a diet?
No.
All right, you ever known anybody's on a diet and their friends start saying, come on, one piece of cheesecake, come on. Your friends do not want you to succeed. They're not evil. They don't even know they're doing it.
Yeah.
Well, your girlfriend or your wife, it's the same thing. When she's telling you, come on, don't be staying late at work, come home immediately. And don't you be going out and having lunch with the boss. What are you wasting your time on that for? And no, I don't want to move to Chicago. I don't care if you get paid more. You know what? I like it here. I got my gynecologist. I got my friends. They do everything they can to drag their feet and keep you from becoming more successful.
Yep.
Because they're afraid you'll dump them.
Yep.
So the trick is just don't listen to them.
Nope. I don't mind being a blue collar worker for now, but that's not my ultimate goal, But I'm still young and I have fun doing what I'm doing, and I'm single and I have fun, and that's what it's about, I mean, and I hear about you. Last night you were talking about you're gonna trade your Lexus in on a Benz or something like that, and
yeah,
But
that's because I didn't let some broad talk me into doing something I shouldn't have done.
Yep, you went full force for your dreams, and you got it.
That's right.
So all those guys out there that are thinking they should stop and do that, I mean, I'm still young, so what do I know? But, but that's how I look at it, too, when I see that out of you.
Thank you, Nick.
No problem.
I appreciate the call. You, too. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Here's Tom on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. How's it going?
I'm okay.
Hey, I was just calling because I really wish I had listened to you before I went and did something stupid and got married. I got married at the age of 19. I now have a 5-year-old daughter, and finally dumped that bitch last year. Divorce was final as August of last year, and I'm just loving life now.
Wow. How much child support do you have to pay?
I only got to pay about $450 a month, but I'm basically dealing with it right now. Right now I'm in the process of trying to take custody of my daughter.
Do you have to pay any vagina money?
No, sir.
Good for you.
Yeah, she didn't really look at any of my dreams the way I did, and I'm finally getting closer to one of my dreams. I'd always wanted to be a commercial helicopter pilot, and I'm hopefully going to be starting school to do that at the beginning of next month. And it's going to take my income from the $50,000 a year that I'm making now to about $100,000 a year.
Wow, good for you. So you're doing better than ever.
I'm absolutely loving life. I love every minute I get to spend with my daughter, and the only thing I don't like about my life right now is having to deal with the ex.
Yeah, well, we were on the air in Seattle 7 years ago. Where were you?
Unfortunately, I wasn't listening. I got turned on to it in the year 2000, and things started changing after I started listening, and now that I'm single again, I'm abiding by your rules as much as I humanly possible.
I love it.
I've turned as many of my buddies on as I can to you. I got a buddy that he drives between Seattle and L.A. every week, and every time he's down there in L.A., he's always calling me up. Hey, what channel's Tom on? What channel's Tom on?
I love that, Tom. Thank you so much. I appreciate the call. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Steve on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Tom, amen, brother. You are so right on with what you're telling these young guys. There's no doubt about it. Because I lived exactly what you're talking about. I waited, found the right girl. My life is great.
How many girls tried to dissuade you from doing what you were doing?
Several.
Yeah.
But the good news is, when you wait, you also get more to put on the notches on the headboard. And then when it is time to settle down, you get the right one. It's a home run.
That's right. You put more mileage in all those pre-owned models that other guys had to take.
That's exactly right. And I got buddies that married that girlfriend, the first girl that gave it up out of high school, and they're Mizzo. And I'll tell you what, there's one other factor to that. when you do decide to get married, wait before you have the kids. Wait a few years. Make sure, because they change after you get married.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I say 5 years.
That's what I did, 5 years, my man. And now I got a little boy and a girl on the way, and it's awesome. And the best, to top it off, I know I married the right girl. Been married 7 years, going away for boys' weekend to the Super Bowl. She makes a vat of pasta sauce, bakes cookies for everybody. I get in the car, there's an envelope on the seat with $500 to gamble on football for the weekend.
Wow.
And I was just like, that's when I knew.
All from waiting for the right girl and waiting for the right opportunity and realizing your dreams.
Just tell those young guys to wait, man. It's worth it. I got out of school. I started working. I saved my own money, did my own thing. She was older, too. You get married when they're in their late 20s, early 30s, and they're established as well, and they're not looking for somebody to take care of them.
Unbelievable. Steve, I'm very proud of you. Thank you very much for that call. Chris on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay.
Good. First-time caller. Basically, I have a story that'll probably warm your heart. About almost a decade ago, I decided I was going to go back to school, go to university. And the woman I was with at the time, I went and I studied English. I majored in English and then did a journalism program. And the woman I was with at the time basically dumped me because of that. I was working at a job that wasn't paying very well, but, it was a job. And I decided I don't like it, so I'm going to go back. And did really well. And I now write for one of the bigger papers in the country. And it's funny because shortly after I entered school and was left, and this woman just broke my heart completely. And I met my wife, who I'm married to now, and she's the greatest thing that ever happened to me. She's been just the greatest form of support you can get out of a person, and it's amazing to think back. What a fix I'd be in. I mean, a fix in a negative way. Had I have agreed to not make that move back to school and then stayed with previous girl, it would have been just hell on earth.
Well, so you're glad you held out.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And just wanted to, just a second part to this, as I was telling your screener, my wife now, the woman I'm with, they're definitely not all like you sometimes say they are. She's been just fantastic. When she met me, I had just gone back to school. I'd quit the job I was at, started working part-time to pay for school, and I was just, emotionally I was at a low, because when you tear your life down, even when you're in your early 20s, you've sort of started on a road, and then you decide to take a different one. It sort of kicks the crap out of you that way, and she really stuck in there, and we've been together ever since, and it's just been great.
Chris, I'm proud of you. Thank you very much for the call.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
For painful, it's more expensive. You're paying like 35 cents for the first minute, and then
Who the hell are you talking to?
I'm talking to Tom Leykis.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show. Yes. Eska, hello.
Hey, Tom, what's going on, buddy?
Not much.
All right, listen up. I need some help, Dad. I think that I'm in some big trouble. I'm 20 years old. I've got a girlfriend. I'm a long-time listener with you, and I don't know why I have a girlfriend at 20 years old. You're just going to rail on me right now, but I'm just telling you, I like her a lot, and I made a mistake, and she's not letting me live it down.
What mistake is that?
Okay, well, I've been with the chick for 5 months now, and I told her I'm Mormon, okay, and I told her that I went on a mission, I served a mission, and I came back early because I hurt myself, and I had to come home, like medical and stuff like that, and she found out that I didn't serve a mission. It's kind of a huge thing with like.
So what were you doing?
The church.
What were you doing? What were you doing instead?
What was I doing instead?
Right.
Oh, nothing. Just spitting around. And at the time, when I told her I was out on my mission, I wasn't even Mormon. You know, I didn't.
What, is she Mormon? Is that the deal?
She is, yes.
So you claim to be Mormon in order to get a girlfriend?
Well, with her, she's hot. She's way hot.
She's really hot, so you lied and said you were Mormon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and my friend, who is Mormon, and served a mission, he ratted me out to my girlfriend.
Well, I think that pretty much does it then, doesn't it, pal? Unbelievable.
The Tom Leykis Show.